Senator LaTanya Johnson, and I am so excited to be here tonight to celebrate Judge Janet. But you know, the reality is, Judge Janet would not be here tonight without all of you and the thousands of people who voted for her tonight. We know that she's a proven leader. She's a veteran prosecutor, but most importantly, she is the best candidate for the Supreme Court Justice. But we know that tonight, our work isn't done. It is just the beginning. We are going to have to dig a little deeper in terms of contributions. We are going to have to make sure that everyone that we know knows just how important this race is, because it is extremely important. There is a lot at stake. Fair maps, women's reproductive rights, and women in this building, we know that we are a lot of things. We're moms, we're doctors, we're judges, we're lawyers, we are politicians. The one thing that we are not is second-class citizens. We are capable of making our own decision, and we refuse to be taken back to 1849, where there is a ban on abortion long before women were able to vote, and back when people who look like me were being bought and sold as property. We will not go back. Now, Judge Janet, no doubt, being judge, she has had to make some really difficult decisions. She has had to make decisions where neither the victim or the defendant were happy, but she's had to rule according to the law. That's what makes her the best candidate, because she's not extreme, she's not partisan. She is going to judge with the rule of the law, and that is something that we have lacked for a very, very long time. Now, I know that there are a ton of elected officials in this audience, and justices and judges, and I wish that we could, name each one of you, but unfortunately we can't. But that just shows how fabulous she is, because everybody is at this party. But we want to make sure that whatever it is that we can do to make sure that she gets across the finish line, whether that is make phone calls, knock on doors, tell your neighbors to go out and vote. Let's be real, right? We all know the Republican plan book, right? We saw what they did in our last elections, especially for our communities of color. Their MO is to discourage people from voting for Democrats or any quality candidate on that ballot. We are going to put an end to that, and we are going to do that with this election, because we are not leaving any souls behind. Every eligible voter, we are going after. We are going to make sure that they go to the polls, and we are going to make sure that they vote for Judge Janet, because she is the most qualified, and I am so honored to be here supporting her tonight. If I didn't think that she was capable of doing the job, I would not be here. But enough with me saying how wonderful she is. I am going to bring up an equally wonderful Justice Rebecca Dallet, and allow her to have her say.
Thank you. What's my theme song? All right. Thank you, Senator Johnson. Thank you so much. Thank you to all of you. Thank you. I'm here tonight because in this election, everything we care about is on the line for everyone we care about. I'm here for two reasons. First, to remind you what's at stake. We need to ensure that our courts, and especially our high court, uphold the rule of law and respect our constitutional freedoms. In too many cases, I feel like many of my colleagues on the court have sought to find a path to their desired outcomes, which often just seems to align with their politics and with whatever the majority party in the legislature wants. To be fair, they aren't always wrong. The rule of law requires us to put aside our personal feelings. But in too many cases, we have just seen egregious twisting of the law. I'm here because instead of dissents, I want to be writing majorities. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Justice Ann Walsh-Bradley and Justice Jill Karofsky. And I can't see because the light is in my eyes, but they are here in the back. Because we want a majority of this court to always uphold the rule of law and to defend our Constitution, whether it's politically convenient or not. I'm going to be honest. I have to speak to you about a majority decision I did have the privilege of supporting, and that's upholding the results of the 2020 election. The vote was counted, it was recounted, it was audited, it was examined, and despite all that, Dan Kelly and his allies still wanted to overturn that election. By throwing out votes in only 2 counties, Dane and Milwaukee County, 2 counties that just so happened to have a lot of votes that went to the winner, Joe Biden. We upheld that election, and what should have been a 7-0 majority, or even throwing out the case because of its nonsense, was a 4-3 razor-thin margin. That is what is at stake in this election today. We cannot risk any further erosion of the law or our democracy. We have to win this election. We have to know that the people's voice will be registered, whatever they decide and whomever they decide to elect. The second reason I'm here is because I know Judge Jana Protasiewicz. I have known her for a long time. We served as prosecutors together. We served as circuit court judges together. I know her heart and I know her experience. She is committed to keeping us safe. I also know, based on her work as a prosecutor and as a judge, that she cares about victims, that she treats everyone with dignity, and that she upholds the law. She did and will do what is right. Our kids deserve the best. And I got one of my kids right here. She deserves the best. And that's when I am so excited to introduce a woman who has campaigned like no other. She has run an amazing campaign. She is tireless. She is ready to run right through that April 4th finish line. We need to take back your Wisconsin Supreme Court. It's my honor and privilege to introduce to you our next Wisconsin Supreme Court, Justice Janet.
Good evening, everyone. I think we have exceeded all of our expectations, haven't we? I am absolutely delighted to be here, and it is wonderful that all of you came out here this evening to celebrate with me. I am absolutely honored that the people of this state have chosen me as one of the 2 candidates to move forward in April. And because of you, this campaign is the highest vote getter of all the other candidates. Whereas Senator Johnson, I'd like to thank Senator Johnson. She and I started talking about this campaign this summer. Thank you for your warm words and everything you have done and for your support. And then we have Becky Dallett. Can you believe Becky Dallett and what she has done? She has been here for me every step of the way, a sounding board, pumping me up with enthusiasm as we have gone along on this journey. Thank you so very, very much, Becky. Thank you so very much. And of course, Greg Sell. When I started talking to Greg about this campaign a year ago, I said, it's going to be a full year, Greg. All day, every day. No vacations. You and the dog. Are you up for it? And he was up for it, and he's been great. And of course, Justice Ann Walsh Bradley, Justice Jill Karofsky, thank you to both of you as well. So, all of you who've been here, and I know what you've been doing, the phone banking, the letters to the editor, the canvassing, the campaign contributions, everything. I know what you've been doing, and I can't thank you enough. Thank you so very much. We've got all of this momentum. We need to keep this momentum going. We cannot... We cannot take our foot off the pedal for a second because April 4th is a mere 42 days away, correct? I like that. And we need to be in the strongest position possible as we go into April. So, as much as we should celebrate tonight, and we certainly should, and we're going to have a good time, our work is far from over, right? Get on the doors with Jim. He's going to tell you how he does those doors. I'm counting on all of you, each and every one of you, to continue the momentum all the way through April 4th, because there's too much at stake, way too much at stake for us to stop for even a moment, right? Way too much. I got in this race because I care about our beautiful state. And I think our state deserves more than its current Supreme Court. I was born and raised on the south side of Milwaukee. Very hardworking parents. Worked my way through UW Milwaukee, waitressing at Big Boy with my friend Chris, who's in back. Chris isn't up here because she's crying in back. Worked my way at Marquette Law School. And I've spent my entire life rooted in this community. I've dedicated my entire career to public service. My only client has ever been the state of Wisconsin. I've seen our judicial system up close, and I believe in something that is universal to every Wisconsinite. Everybody deserves a fair shot in our justice system. There should not be a thumb on the scale. Everybody deserves a fair shot. But that's not what we're getting from our Supreme Court today. I have been traveling all over this state. You name it, I've been there. Got my favorite restaurants all over the state. All my favorite cafes, from La Crosse to Manitowoc to Sheboygan. You name it, I've been there. I can tell you people are ready for a change. And I don't think we would have seen the election results we've seen today, but for the fact that people are ready for a change, right? People are ready for a justice who believes in fairness to all. Thank you, Jim. I can promise you I will always make decisions based on the law, never on partisan extreme beliefs. And that's exactly what I've done my entire career. I was in the Milwaukee County District Attorney's Office for about 25 years. I've been on the bench for almost 10 years, and that's what I've spent my life doing, upholding the Constitution and following the law. I work very hard to uphold the laws of our state, to protect victims, to hold criminals accountable. That's what I have done. And I can assure you that as a member of our Supreme Court, I will always be fair and impartial. I can't tell you how I'll rule in any case, but throughout this race, I have been absolutely clear about what my values are. And that's because I believe the voters of this state deserve to know what a candidate's values are. I value a woman's freedom to make her own reproductive health care decisions. I value our democracy. Thank you, Kathy. And I believe that every Wisconsinite deserves to be fairly represented. Your vote matters. Everybody's vote matters. And the Constitution, our Constitution, guarantees the right to vote and to have a representative democracy in this country. I value public safety, and I believe that everybody deserves to live in a safe community. We need to uphold our laws, protect the rights of victims, and hold offenders accountable. These are not partisan values. This is common sense, right? It's common sense. At this point, we don't know who my opponent is going to be in April. It's too early to tell. The results are still coming in. But regardless of who it is, we know I'll be running against someone who doesn't share my value. I'll be running against someone who doesn't think women get to make their own reproductive rights. I will guarantee you that my opponent, if elected, will uphold the 1849 near total abortion ban. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you we will elect someone who does not care about our democracy, who does not have the same values. And that is why we need to win on April 4th. With your help, we can make that happen. And I'm counting on all of you. We only have 6 weeks. I'm not taking a day off. I'm not taking a minute off. I'm going to ask all of you to do the same thing. We can celebrate tonight, right? But after that, we are full speed ahead for 42 days. And the reason we're not even taking a day off is because everything we care about, and as I've told people across this state, everything we care about is going to be determined by who wins this election. So join us at janetforjustice.com. Talk to your friends. Talk to your neighbors. Make sure they know just how important this race is. Together, I know that we will prevail on April 4th, and we will bring change and common sense to our Supreme Court. Thank you to all of you. I look forward to talking with you tonight. Thank you for coming out here on this kind of cold, just starting to snow evening, and let's go win this thing. Thank you, everybody.
Is always on.
Get the Channel 3000 app, activate the push alerts, and we will send you breaking news, traffic, and weather alerts as it happens.
The Channel 3000 app. Get it now.
Powered by News 3 Now.